Let's talk about time. I'm not going to hit you with a bunch of cliches about how time is your most valuable resource or whatever. If you're watching this, you understand all of that and you're interested in what somebody might have to say about time and time wasting that could help you. I'm 41 years old. I'm a late bloomer and I wouldn't even necessarily say that I've bloomed yet. There are a lot of things that I want to do before I reach retirement age, and if I told you what they were, you'd almost certainly think I was crazy. But you'd also probably agree with me that if I want to accomplish these things, I've really got to be serious about time management. I've struggled throughout most of my life with, I guess what I would say is a distracted mind. And I knew it was a problem, but I also knew people that were like way worse off than I was, so I didn't really have like a proper perspective on it. And I don't really think I took it as seriously as I did some of my other issues. These days, I've got a lot of things that I'm juggling and I'm really serious about all of it. Demanding job, mental and physical health goals, marriage, parenthood, home maintenance and repair, financial planning, and creative fulfillment. And if you're like me, you just don't have time to devote to everything. Tough choices have to be made, and you have to be really efficient and creative with how you use your time. And you have to identify your priorities and hold true to them. I've given some thought lately to what I could do to this end, and I'm going to list some ways that I waste time, and then I'm going to talk about some alternative activities that would really sort of improve how I spend my time. Number one, reliving unpleasant memories, like interpersonal conflict, that kind of thing. I could dwell on that all day and just a whole day would go by and I got nothing done. Dwelling on things that I regret, such as poor choices that I've made. There is an endless list. I could just think about that all day and just waste time. Fantasizing about the lifestyle that I crave or the career that I want. Like thinking about winning the lottery or, becoming a creative celebrity or, never having to work a day job again. Social media. What I go there looking for is maybe some validation or maybe some updates on what's going on in my friends' lives. But then here's an example of the top 10 things that came up, the first 10 things that came up in my posts. Something I posted 7 years ago that Facebook's like, hey, remember this? Number two, something that my wife reposts every time it comes up in her feed. It's a video of me performing with a band and doing Ice Ice Baby, this stupid song. I don't care about that. An ad for some clickbait image gallery that you're going to click on it and next thing you know, you're just going to be like, what was I doing? And then there's a friend of mine from high school posting about some memory from 20 years ago that I just kind of don't care about. Then there was a girl that I used to like 15 years ago, posting pictures of her baby. I don't really care about that. There's an acquaintance of mine from years ago that's posting a meme that I thought was kind of cool. But then there was a guy that I barely know who's posting a meme that's expressing a sentiment that I just really don't care for, and I don't want to see it. And then there's an ad for something that I don't care about. And then commercial content from something that I liked initially, but now they're just giving me way too much of it. And then there's a clickbait ad for a silly video that supposedly went viral or is going viral, and it's not going to enhance my life in any way. So that's social media. Then there's the mindless cleaning and straightening of my home. And which is fine and all, but sometimes it's the wrong time to be doing it. Or I could get sucked into a repair or a maintenance project that I hadn't planned on doing that day, and I just kind of like, I got sucked into it. And then there's escapism, consuming content, often content that I've consumed at least once before already, or drinking to catch a buzz, like as soon as the workday is over. And then I'm just for the rest of the night. And then could be maybe something that I'm trying to address with my wife, and we talk about it over and over and over again, but the conversations are not productive and we can't really come to a meeting of the minds, and we're just going through the motions and arguing. Managing stress. I verbally process my thoughts and feelings and I vent a lot, and then it's like, all right, so do you feel a little bit better? Maybe, but you just lost 2 hours. And then it might be like making or reviewing plans that I'm never actually going to take action on. So let's talk about some things that we could do instead that would be a better use of our time. Number one, meal planning. If I knew what I needed to shop for, what I needed to cook, and we didn't have to sit around talking and wasting time thinking, what are we going to eat today? That would be a huge benefit. Daily exercise to reduce stress, maybe instead of drinking. Meditation. The meditation helps to rebuild your brain in a better way, and that helps with things like distractedness. Helps you be more mindful of how you're wasting time in the first place. I could consume mental health content instead of watching the same dumb movie over and over and over again. It's like, okay, Marvel, we get it. You made some great movies. I don't need to watch them over and over and over again. Learning about ways to address my distractedness, reading books about this kind of thing, watching some content that would help me to understand it and do better with it. Learning about day trading and about investing and things that I might be able to do to help me reach my financial goals. It's intimidating, but if I don't start learning about it, I'm never going to get there. Developing ways to connect with my daughter that we both enjoy instead of being frustrated about kind of doing the same games and the same little activities over and over again, and she's bored and I'm bored, and if I actually had time to sit and fix that, that would be a much better use of my time. Spending time with my wife and developing our relationship, taking her out and just spending time with her and letting her talk to me about what's going on with her. Strategic networking, going and meeting people with similar interests and encouraging each other and spending time together. Or working on the creative projects that I've got going on. There's some things that I'm doing right now that I'm not in a position to talk about yet, that I'm excited about, and I'm happy with the way it's going. But it is so hard when you have so much going on and there's like practical things that you need to do, that your family's counting on you or your work is pressuring you to do. I heard somebody talk about how people tend to sacrifice what's really important so they can address something that seems more urgent. And the difference between what seems like an urgent matter and something that actually is legitimately important that you should be focusing on. At work we call them fire drills. It's just like, oh, drop everything and take care of this right now. And you had a whole plan for your day and now it's all screwed. So that's the list. I think that your list is probably going to look different. I'm sure there's going to be some overlap, but it's very important to sit down and say, okay, so what are my goals? Am I accomplishing these goals? What's stopping me? Am I spending a lot of time doing something that's not getting me any closer to where I really want to be? And then just like kicking myself over it? Am I just procrastinating because I'm intimidated by taking that next step? What is it that I need to do? And what maybe could I cut out to make room for the good stuff? All right, folks, that's it for today. Stop wasting your time watching this video and go do something important.